of some of the kind of the COVID protocols and stuff like that, but just kind of how that whole ordeal last year was as a player playing in empty stadiums and stuff like that. You'd be surprised by his ankle actually.
That's surprising me too much anymore. Look, I hope everyone had a great Father's Day last week. Feel free to jump in on the calling line at 913-382-1818. Coming up in the second hour, we're going to be joined by two-time Olympian Kansas City and Central High School native, our very own Luna Lee, as we discuss the Olympic travel and the upcoming Olympic Games. We're talking about her experience competing on the world stage and what it's like and what type of pressure athletes may face, because it's a different beast when you're before high school and then even college. And even at professional level too, because now you're representing the world on the worldwide stage. You talk about CFE, you talk about the finals, NBA finals, and the Super Bowl, whatever. We talk about it being a big stage, but the Olympics is the largest stage that there is, because you truly have billions of people watching you. So we're talking about that in the second hour. We're definitely looking forward to that conversation. And Lance, let's talk about last night's NBA playoffs. We got the Los Angeles Clippers, who once again find themselves down 0-2 for the first round. They are now trailing 3 games to 1 against the Phoenix Suns after Saturday night's loss. Your initial take on that, because I got to tell you, I thought they were going to come up with this win. I actually did. But then, conversations hit me. Playoff teams going to turn into teams sometime during the fourth quarter. Then it happened. It happened at the wrong possible time. And then when they had a chance to possibly win the game, at least tie the game, they couldn't get that rebound when they needed the most. And of course, Chris Paul played good, even in the absence of Brandon Booker foul out in the fourth quarter.
I'm a big nostalgia guy. I like retro stuff. As you can see, I'm wearing a retro Chiefs hat right now from the 90s. But there are things about the 90s that I absolutely despise as a sports fan in particular. Horrible shooting games. And that was definitely a throwback to those times when you would have these, 87 to 84 fourth quarter games. Sometimes you see those in overtime back in the 90s. And last night was nothing short of that. It was very enjoyable because I was talking to my brother who was actually over when we were watching the game, and I saw Cameron Payne hit some early shots, and I said, this is why the Suns are going to win this game, because when their role players are playing well, it doesn't matter what happens in the rest of that game, and that ended up paying dividends because that ended up being the difference in the game, because both teams were absolutely cool in that fourth quarter. It was a terrible shooting performance, and everybody says way off P, everybody says pandemic P. I say playoff please. Because every single big game this guy is in, he does this. Yes, in the playoffs, you've seen him play pretty well. He leads the playoffs in minutes right now, so I'm not going to try to criticize this man too much. But when it came down to it, this dude is now 11 times in his playoff career, he has shot 25% or worse from the field. That is a modern NBA record. Bob Cousy is now trailing him, and Bob Cousy had 10. So this is a modern-day record we're witnessing for all the negatives. And so we talked about this last time we were on the show about how I believe this Suns team is going to win the title for these very reasons. They played terribly. Devin Booker and Chris Paul, the two best players, shot horrendously from the field, and it did not matter. Andre Ayton out there with 22 rebounds in this game was an ultimate difference maker in the second chance points column. Again, the Clippers, Reggie Jackson has revolutionized his career. This dude was about to retire. He was early 30s, about to retire, about to wrap shop. Hey, I had a successful career, we're good. He goes out here and has an incredible game, and it doesn't matter because why? Their best player, when they needed him to hit big free throws, could not do it. It's that big free throw. I will say this as well, because I watched that entire game. It was funny how the last 30 to 45 seconds of that game lasted longer than the first 3 quarters. They had so many timeouts, so many situations that just do not seem to pay dividends to the Clippers. They had so many opportunities. I think Ty Lue actually did a really good job with his rotations last night, with moving Zubac in and out of that rotation, giving them opportunity to get some key rebounds and things of that nature, but it did not matter because the Suns held down on the defensive side. They continued to progress as an offense from the young player from the rotation, like Anthony, like I said last night. Mikal Bridges playing big last night. This Suns team is for real, man. I know the Clippers have come back 0-2, 2 straight playoff series before this one, but this Suns team's a different beast, man, a different animal, and they're going to finish this thing off pretty quickly. So I hope we're ready to see the Suns in the finals for the first time in 20, 30 plus years.
Yeah, I think last night, and of course, they wanted somebody like Michael Jordan. Now, granted, Michael Jordan's not playing the series, right. But, I will say some things. I was kind of struggling this week, but I wanted to pull for the Clippers because of Kyrie, and we'll talk about the job he's doing in just a moment. But watching the game last night really got me to get real upset at Patrick Beverley. Now, not that he's not doing it. See, in the country says he's doing a good job on Darren Booker, and Darren Booker still lining him up for 25 points, and he only comes up with 2 points. And in this deal, he's going to lose him up to 4, and hopefully once he's 3-point line, and what he has 4 rebounds. Now, I'm not going to lie. The players that I wish I would have, because I didn't actually believe this last night. I would have done Zubac, I would have done AD. I think they were both with a heavy because for the game, they're still 25. But Chris Paul wouldn't, I would have obviously 10 assists, I would have lost it from there. I wouldn't. But no, Monty Williams had, they had these players playing exceedingly well, even on the road. And like I said, their first quarter wasn't anything pretty whatsoever because I remember it was part of that time, like at the end of the first quarter, like 69, 66, and then I'm looking at 6 minutes and I'm like, 70, and I'm thinking like my phone may have froze or something, and I'm like, this cannot be the final, or at least the story. And then when I got to it, then it was like 3 minutes up, it was like 70. I'm like, what kind of game this is, and who raised these kids? And that's what I was sitting there thinking, and I'm like, and DeAndre Ayton was, he played a man among boys, but to me, just watching, he still kind of plays kind of similar. I'm not sure I agree with you got 19 and 22, but I guess you got tweak of toes or something. Zubac, I thought he did extremely well for a practice. I mean, but at the end of the day, there were some missed calls that should have gone the Clippers' way. It didn't, obviously, and for that, it probably messed with their psyche because I think there was one call late in the game that they didn't get. I think where they were going for a rebound or something, and it tipped off one of the two front hands and it went out of bounds, and they won the ball.
It was, I believe it's actually Cameron Payne was trying, and the two can get the ball out, and it looked like it came off actually Cameron Payne's hands, so it should have been reversed. But the problem was that the Clippers already used their challenge on Pat Beverley getting that charge call on Booker, which was even bigger because it actually fouled Devin Booker out of the game. Yeah. So they needed that. That was a big break for the Clippers. And Pat Beverley was 100% correct. That was a charge. It was just shocking me because the first thing I thought when they reversed that call was, had this game been in Phoenix, there ain't no way in hell they're giving the Clippers that call. So that was definitely a hometown discount for the Clippers on that one, even though it was the right call. They got it right. It was just very interesting to me that they ended up giving that to them, knowing the significance of said foul, getting Booker out of the game. And the Suns held down, man. That's what I keep coming around to. All these adversities that both teams face, the Suns held down, man. They kept their composure. And I think he'll need to also place Monty Williams. Tyler's our guy. He's from our back area here. But Monty's done an incredible job getting this team so focused and as many young guys, the moments can never be too big for these guys. It's nothing short of amazing.
And someone mentioned that it's interesting because with Chris Paul out the first 2 games, we saw how they were scoring a lot of points, and now with him back, it seems the world is kind of making more and kind of slow the way down. I didn't really think too much about it because and it seems the world with Cameron Payne coming off the bench versus in the starting position, the offense is totally different now. Obviously, we're not going to bench Chris Paul the rest of the world or whatever. But maybe maybe we should do if they pull the protocol something against you can get their high scoring back. I will say though, great job by Monty Williams. What he's been able to do, and what I like, both coaches have been able to make adjustments either on the fly or during the game. But mostly, even during the game because Kyrie, to his credit, in his coach, I think he's got the most games and the most serious where they come down to 2 and whether or not they come back and win the game or win the series is that's debatable. But I think this is the 5th time now. I think from the series he was leading the role with series 5 for someone to now he gets a timeout. They may lose tomorrow night's game in Phoenix back on the road. I gotta expect that to possibly happen because, like you said, when they're at home, they're not going to get those types of calls against them. It's maddening. And here's the thing. When I saw how they were against the Lakers and even in the second round against the Denver Nuggets, this Phoenix team, the home crowd, that makes all the difference. You got game 5 in Phoenix, knowing that you have a chance to get to the NBA Finals. I remember this one was the real game where Kyler Murray was there, J.J. Watt was there. It was a whole, one of the players. The crowd was so loud through my TV screen. I got nice around time. I mean, it was just like, that was the one time I wish I would have been there. I was actually in Phoenix for one of the bigger games that I was trying to do Oregon, so my stop was there, but it was just the excitement and the atmosphere being around in the area was astounding. So I'm definitely looking forward to Game 5 tomorrow night. I guess like the question is the Suns overall tomorrow night.
See, this is the assumption because everything you just said about how the Suns have such an electric home base, it's almost a widely assumed scenario they're going to win this game in Phoenix, which is why I'm probably going to lean Clippers. This Clippers team is so maddening and they make no sense at times, that it would make total sense if they go in there and upset the Phoenix Suns in a Game 5 scenario. I can 100% see that happening. More than likely, you got to go with the Suns here, but this Clippers team is a testament to what they do. 0-2 against the Mavericks, you're thinking, okay, they're dead in the water. End up winning the series. 0-2 against the next round against the Jazz, the number 1 seed in the West, you're thinking, it's over, and they win this series. So I'm not saying they're going to win this series, they're not going to win this series, but it would not be out of the realm of possibility if this team finds a way to do something that no one is expecting them to do, because I'm imagining they're going to be at least 6.5, 7-point dogs in this game against the Suns at home. So you have to think that.
Yeah. So, the one thing that we can say about Tyler's team, at least in the series, they haven't been blown out, and they're always in the fight. And see, this is what I say. I want to take the Clippers because Tyler, he never gets too high, and as we see, he never gets too low. And he always figures out a way to bring this team back from extinction, so to speak. And so,
I'm just saying, could you not see it happening just based on what they've done in these playoffs? I mean, that's what they do. When you start throwing that dirt on them, all of a sudden they're rising up out of that grave, man. It's hard to explain.
I did it. I know the first round, and I know I did the second round, because when they lost to Alabama, I was like, Utah Jazz in 6. And next thing I know, they won the 2 games.
Right.
Look, well, I don't remember that particular deal, but, yeah, you know what, that's rather than something else. And they have yet to win on the road in Phoenix. So if there was to be a first time, I can see it being this end to them. They have to win the next 2 games, period, for them to make it to the NBA Finals. Now, part of me, they want to see them lose. I can see still Davis still hitting, so whatever. It will be worth it. But you know what? I'm going to go with the Clippers in Game 5 to at least get it to win. I think Kyler is up for the challenge. Seeing the job that he's done, I'm not going to undervalue what he's been able to do by doing it. So they did knock off the number 1 seed in the Utah Jazz. So I'm going to lean on that and lean on the fact that at the end of the day, if it comes down to it, I think the ball will be in Reggie Jackson's hands or Trina's hands versus
I think Terrence Mann is the X factor in this game because he's the guy that continues to lift his team. I think he's the highest scoring guy on the team. He brings his energy on both sides of the court. Defensively, he's a lockdown player. He's an incredible role player altogether. He has great composure for a young guy, and he can knock down big shots. We've seen the moment is not too big. I give the Suns players, these role players like Kansas Campaign and Mikal Bridges, all this credit for being these young, Jackson even too, about how the moment's never too big for these young cats. Well, we're going to give equal, if not more credit to Terrence Mann for being the exact same character. He has that same strength about him, is where it doesn't matter what the stage is. I'm going to be who I'm going to be. And that's what he's done. And I'm going to give Terrence Mann a ton of credit. I think he could be a key contributor and an X factor of what this game does, how this game goes. If he plays well, he gives him 11 to 13 points off the bench, has a couple key steals or key moments on the defensive side, they can pull out a squeaky, narrow margin victory on the road. It's not out of the realm of possibility. This Clippers team has been doing that this entire postseason as the prohibitive underdog in most scenarios that they've had in the elimination game.
We're going to run about before you're listening to the show right here on Sports Radio 18WC or 18WC.com. Facebook Live, YouTube, all the other good stuff. Periscope as well. let's look at the second, the other conference in the Eastern Conference. So we're talking about underdogs. The biggest underdog is the Atlanta Hawks. I've been riding with them all pluses this side. Never said they were win the title, but for some reason, I've been loving the way Trey Young, proving some fun. The fun of most of the way in the second half. I like Quincy Cole. I like John Collins. Definitely love Trey Young. I love Bogdanovich when he's knocking on the 3-point shot. This game number 3, takes place tonight, I believe, in Atlanta. Here, the Hawks, granted, all they have to do is hold serve, because they took home court advantage in game 1. I know they got the last look in 2, but that was kind of the big step. We expected Milwaukee to bounce back, not be best, not go down 0-2 at home. That being the case, what happened?
You've been riding with the Hawks this whole time. I have been on the complete opposite end of it. As much as I have been a big Trey.
Wrong.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. I've been wrong almost these entire playoffs. It's been horrible, man. Trey Young, as much of a fan as I have been, he's even proven me wrong because of the fact that this is, I'm not a math guy, but I know how to add 1 + 1 because it usually equals 2. But when it comes to the Hawks, it does not. This team has had 0 All-Stars this season, 0 All-Stars on their team, and they've gotten to the Eastern Conference Finals. First team to do that, and I think forever, maybe at least a long time. This team continues to scrap. We talk about the courtroom and how they do it. It starts with coaching. A few weeks ago, we had Mark Reynolds on your show. We were talking to him about, Coach of the Year and the best coaches available. I said Nathan Millen deserves some credit. He's done this in Portland. He did this in Indiana, and now you're seeing it when he has a superstar in Trey Young. What he's doing with said superstar, and it's working. I'm tired of doubting this Hawks team, even though I picked the Bucks in 5 in this series because I felt like the superstar talent of Giannis was finally starting to become what he's supposed to be, and the fact they have such a significant difference in size, and I feel that overall playoff experience, that has to eventually pay dividends. It has to eventually pay dividends. So I was trying to make sense of this series. But you saw game 2. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. You had to try to do some soul searching here on this side.
I did, because from time to time I've been doing myself. And not to cut you off, but the only guy it scares me and kills me to try to pick Milwaukee. And I'm just going to do too many. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, because I don't know what I feel something all the time when it comes to the Bucks, I know what I'm going to get from Riley. I know. I can get 33 and 12 or 15 rebounds. Because Middleton, I just don't know. He's supposed to be that all-star. He's supposed to be the second-best player. Yeah. And some games he'll surprise you. I think, when he jumped at him during the game, during the series against the Brooklyn Nets, they jumped on him because he played bad. He played horrible one game. The next thing you know, he came out to 33 and he had a double-double with Giannis. And then he kind of goes back to so I don't know if he's going to give me 5 3-point shots, 3-point shots that he's going to make, or he's going to go 0 for 9. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to give him because that's why, as much as I would be confident, I guess if we was against the Sixers, I would have no problem going with the Bucks. But because of the Hawks and the way Middleton is, man, he's just too inconsistent for me. And I don't know what I'm going to get with Drew Holiday. For the most part, I think I can get maybe kind of 18 and 7. Now if he gives me more, great. That I'll take that to go with whatever Giannis can get. Giannis, the problem with Giannis is that he likes to shoot too many outside shots, and he likes to point forward. And I'm like, get your ass down in the block. He's 6'15", 6'11", get down there. And look, he's bigger than all the Hawks players. It's not like he can't get 50. He can get 50 easily. And if you're the Hawks, well, if I'm a Bucks, I don't mind Trey Young getting 30 and 20. I'll give the point all day long. What kills you is the assist. Because if he's getting double-double, that means he's contributing to a minimum 20 points, depending on how they shoot the 3-point shot and if you're doing the 3-point play. So that's where the Bucks will get themselves killed because with Trey Young, he can do so much. And even when he's not shooting well, even when he shot well, with 38 points, not like he was shooting particularly well. I think he shot 4 for 12 from the 3-point line and was like 1 for 7 in the fourth quarter. But he had 7 points from the free throw line and those assists. The assists were big. So again, I'm going with Atlanta. I got Atlanta in Well, I got them in 6 because to me, Vegas is a little further home, so I got them in 6. Now, I could end up being wrong, but that's what I'm doing.
Well, Chris Winston, to your point, when you started that entire part, I 100% agree. He has what I would like to call the Ben Roethlisberger issue. Well, Ben Roethlisberger is this Hall of Famer at home. He goes on the road and he looks like Tyler Palco out there. I don't even know how to explain this. You can
Yeah, but he was like that at home too.
this guy throughout his
Road.
career, he was such a great home quarterback, and on the road, he's always terrible. I never understood that. Chris Winston definitely has that problem. Why I feel comfortable, though, and I'm still trying to convince myself to doubt the Hawks just a little bit enough to call the Bucs the winner in this series and today's game, is the fact that I feel that even though I don't buy so much stock in the end result of what happened in Game 2, I feel like the Hawks conceded. It was around the beginning of the third quarter because the Bucs were just, because they're like 10 of 19 and half of 3-pointers. The Bucs were just going to win this game. And the Hawks did what they were supposed to do, steal home court Game 1. So they were good with losing Game 2 at that point. But what I thought that the Bucs did right, and what I think they learned in this series, because we know series can be very drawn out, and they're learning something about your opponent each and every game as long as it lasts. I think the Bucs found something, because you said that although Trae Young scored 48 points in Game 1, he was not scoring points very easily. Now, Trae Young likes to shoot the ball from deep. The Bucs were forcing him to either pass the ball or drive to the hoop in Game 2, early and often. I think the Bucs are going to continue that trend where they're not going to allow Trae Young to shoot any type of shot, contested or not, from 28 feet beyond. But when he gets hot from outside, you're not beating the Hawks. We've seen that time and time again in these playoffs. When he's hitting 3-pointers, he sets everything else up. He sets everyone else up. It does not matter what you do at that point. It's a lot like Steph Curry. When he starts hitting his 3, you better just hope he starts getting cold from outside. Because once he starts hitting, the game is pretty much a wrap no matter what point it is. So I think the Bucs should continue that trend and double him up deep down out there, way out there, give him pressure. As soon as he passes half court, maybe do a little full court pressure with Drew Holiday. Allow Brook Lopez to shoot from the outside corner because he got hot as well. I think the Bucs can carry that trend. If they do that, I think they steal Game 3 in Atlanta. But hey, again, this is the guy that's been wrong about the Hawks the entire way through. If they go out there and win tonight, I'm not going to be shocked at all, Darren. I'm not going to be shocked at all.
Yeah, no. The shocking part of that, I wouldn't be shocked if they were running the next. The thing is, for me, is that Nate McMillan these players, one, they're playing half tonight. Because no one expected them to get as far as they've gotten. But the thing is they believe in themselves essentially, and they're doing all the things right. Like, they're taking, they're not afraid to take charges. They're rebounding the ball like this, game 1 and they're going to 34 rebounds. True players. Yeah. True players. They have 9 offensive rebounds. They don't have problems doing the dirty work, and look, they know it's Trae Young's team. So if you come down and shoot from the low, they do it. They play some misses. They try to get the rebound. People back out to him, whatever. But here's the thing. Again, you don't want to allow Trae Young to just work as much because once he starts getting floated, like he'll go in there, and the thing is such a smart player, man. And Nate McMillan, he's done a good job defensively and also making adjustments. That to me is the biggest thing that the biggest difference between the two teams is the coaching because Jordan over there, how he doesn't really make too many adjustments in the game, and it's like if things don't like to me, and this is the thing about Middleton, and I said it before. If the jump shot's not working, that's it.
Yeah.
Especially when you're doing all from after the station line, it's just a 6 to 10 station quarter, and even though the game was out of reach in the third quarter, Giannis and Middleton, they were still playing in the first quarter, they were trading in the last. So that's I don't know what they're trying to do. I'm just trying to make stats or just somebody parlay or what. I'm like, the starter was already sat down in the third quarter, but shit up started in the third quarter playing. But it is, that's the coaching thing. It is what it is. But I'm going to go with the Hawks tonight. For me, I just think they'll have to hold serve. Now, it could be a scenario where they, you could afford to lose a game at home, but you don't want. I'd rather them be 2-2 by being up tonight and maybe losing on Tuesday. But I like the Hawks at home, man. I like the little home run. I think it's think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be 116-111, something like that, again, with the high scoring. And I think the crowd, and for Atlanta, they want to be all the what they do with their crowd. I mean, and one thing that I know that the officials are going to be watching out for next, because I know the Hawks and the Hawks coach will say something about it. Giannis as a free throw line. Got it.
Yeah,
you got to make sure he's not shooting. He's not taking 13 and a half seconds to shoot, for a 10-second free throw shot.
And the good thing that the Hawks is the advantage that Trae Young has to get into the line. He's got that James Harden treatment. He's already got that. He's already earned that. You make bad eye contact and it's a bit with Trae Young, he's getting to the line. If he shoots 10 to 15 free throws in the first half, like he's the second half, the Hawks are going to probably win this game. I will say this: if Trae Young shoots or makes 4 to 5 3-pointers tonight, the Hawks are going to win this game. Like I said, I think the Bucks know that. I think they figured that out. If we keep him, if he gets the bucket and he scores, they'll trade those twos for threes. Because like I said, if Trae starts getting hot from the outside, you're not beaten, especially at home.
If I really trade up what you have to worry about is Bogdanovich, because he doesn't have a really good shooting on the first two. So if he's anything, is running close to being healthy, then I like him. So let's listen to the quick one. Come back. What is Phil Patrick sitting in the club for Frank Clark last Sunday? Another arrest for him. There are 2 arrests in the last 3 months. Out in California. We'll talk about that as well as some comments made by Travis Kelce. Seems to be a mover. Winning the Super Bowl is not a successful season. People like this in the ship. We're live on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
This is your co-host, Chicago Bears, Pro Football Hall of Famer, and you're listening to The Shift with Darren Smith on Sports Radio 810 WHB and ESPN Kansas City.
Review GMC knows that you don't have all day to buy your next vehicle. Hi, this is Trevor Reed. That's why Review GMC is perfecting the 90-minute car buying process. You can complete most of the process from your home or office. When you arrive, you can inspect your vehicle, complete your paperwork, and receive a thorough tutorial on all your vehicle's features. No back and forth, no headaches. Go to reviewgmc.com or call 816-436-6300 to get started. Review GMC is values-driven.
For a job or career change, let Sports Radio 810 help you out with the 810 Job Connections Program. Go to the community page at 810WHB.com and check out the list of partners that are hiring. Is your business wanting to hire? Email Sandy Cohen at scohen@unionbroadcasting.com to see how you can be a part of the 810 Job Connections Program. See job opportunities from businesses like Domino's Pizza, Consolidated Communications, Twin Peaks, and Performance Food Service in Lee Summit. Go to 810WHB.com/community.
If you're thinking about making a career change, then listen to this. Sports Radio 810 has an opening on our sales team for someone who has a passion for selling, with the freedom to move around the city and unlimited control over your income. This is the perfect opportunity for a self-starter. Best candidates possess the energy and creativity to help area businesses grow and prosper. Media sales or sports industry sales experience is preferred. If you're interested in learning more, go to 810WHB.com and search for employment opportunities.
Sports Radio 810 and Chicken and Pickle present the first ever Kansas City Pickleball Championship, July 14th and 15th. Register now at 810WHB.com. We have 3 divisions: beginner, intermediate, and expert, plus a celebrity exhibition tournament and party. Don't miss out. Only 32 teams are available in each division. Registration is $150 per team, which will include prizes, welcome bag, and your chance to be crowned Kansas City Pickleball Champion. Register your team now at 810WHB.com.
This is Ron Bell, Super Bowl winning coach for the Baltimore Ravens, and you're listening to The Shift with Darren Smith on Sports Radio 810 WHB and ESPN Kansas City.
We are back. Bullock here on the ship with Darren Smith, live on Sports Radio 810 WHB on this Sunday morning. Also, look, if you get a chance, first of all, we would love for you to go to our webpage, 18WHB.com. Sign up for the Blasters registration tonight. Of course, they'll be having a live auction over at Top Rock. So please get a chance if you sign up with the share rates and support the cause that they're trying to do. I'll be out there. You can come out there and try to take him on the top guy. You might be successful. You might, but we got some money on it, and I might get you. Last Sunday, after we got out the super late on after we got here, Frank Clark was arrested in Los Angeles, California. He was arrested for having a machine gun, or an Uzi, as they say, in his car, along with 3 other people. He was the only one that was arrested, the other 3 were used. It was reported by PNG that this arrest that took place, he said that the cops said that he had the gun inside the bag, and he said that they saw the bag, they saw the gun inside the bag. So, me is the street person after I saw that maybe being pulled over. You got 4 people in the car, but they're not going to get us back. That being said, your thoughts on all this situation.
I tried so hard on our show Friday to focus on the football side of things. It's really difficult to not address directly the error in the situation for Frank Clark, not just because of the fact that he was in a very strict gun law state with that type of weapon in his car, but the fact that now that within 90 days had multiple instances of said gun charges or charges that are under investigation still, I just know that the Chiefs as an organization they hate negative publicity and optics so badly. That the first thing I thought when I heard this one, he didn't hear about the first one until after the fact that this one that just took place last weekend, back in March, is how did the Chiefs handle this now? Because
the Chiefs knew about both.
Right.
So,
I'm saying the public. I didn't hear anything at least from my end.
No, I'm saying nobody had heard the first one until the crowd talked about after the contract in California. So my only question is the organization knew about it in March.
And now that they're all out in the open, how do you guys handle this? Because the Kareem Hunt situation is different, but the way they handled it was they knew about Kareem Hunt talking to them about it way back 10 months before the video came out at his Cleveland hotel room, or apartment rather. And then when it came out publicly, they immediately cut ways with Kareem Hunt. I was going back into something like that.
The only thing is they said he lied about it in the video. So.
They couldn't because he lied. That's why they cut Kareem Hunt. We got to remember that. A lot of folks when I brought up the comparison, people said, well, it's different situations. No, they cut Kareem Hunt because he lied to them about
different situation. The other thing about that is he's scared now.
Right, exactly.
You look at the hindsight trucking. They love him. So
and the team is better with Frank Clark. I think we both would acknowledge that. This team is clearly better with Frank Clark than without him. And this is what's frustrating about it, is that Frank Clark as a person, I'm going to look at the man, okay? Frank has potentially 1 year left with his Chiefs team. They can get out of his contract after this season if they really want to. So he is sitting here with the ability to showcase what he can do now with Darren Reed, his former teammate back in Seattle, who he balled out with in Seattle, got himself over $100 million, and Darren Reed helped him get that type of money because they were a great tandem. Now they're back together. Chris Jones is going to play on the opposite side of the defensive end a lot this season. You're thinking, man, Frank Clark has really elevated himself to either stay here in Kansas City, maybe even get himself an extension at only 28 years old, or at worst case scenario, get himself another contract with another team. So I'm looking at this, I'm excited for Frank Clark coming to the season, not just because of the Chiefs and he can help elevate this team, but for his own personal life. So this is why it's so frustrating, because now what you're looking at is, if the Feds really want to go after Frank, he can do time, and in best case scenario, he's going to get suspended for the first month of the season. So all around, no matter what you want to break down legally, because I've talked to a couple lawyers about this situation, it can be nothing, it can be a slap on the wrist, and just maybe a couple game suspension, or it can be really bad for Frank. So as for the man, I'm frustrated because I felt like he's really now messing up a great opportunity for himself and for his people, for the people that he takes care of. Now we're looking at a situation. The Chiefs side is, how do they salvage this? How do they make the best of this situation? Because I think we're going to miss Frank Clark for at least the first month of the season. And what's worse about that from the football side of things as well is we talked about this just on your last show about how that first month of the season is so pivotal for the Chiefs. For the first 5-6 weeks, they faced 4 playoff teams from last season. They need Frank Clark in those first 4 to 5 games. Now, the Chiefs are a franchise. We saw in 2019 when they won the Super Bowl, they not only lost Patrick Mahomes for a couple games, they lost Tyreek Hill for a series of games, they lost Eric Fisher, they lost several other players throughout that season to still prevail. So I think the Chiefs as a whole will still be okay because this roster is so damn talented, and this coaching staff knows how to win games. They're versatile. But this is just, to me, there's nothing positive to come of this. Therefore, I have to imagine the Chiefs are not looking at this very fondly, and I have to wonder if this is going to truly be Frank Clark's last season, which is a frustrating situation altogether. I would just hope Frank will be a little bit smart in this. I'm not opposed to a man having his own weapon and things of that nature, but you got to know the situation. You got to know where you're at. You just got to be a little bit smarter than that, man.
So the issue I have is who will invest in first time. Most of the back in March. Now, who will be rested in March will come a little fire along with someone else. And how that did not become public is the thing.
Now that was also in California as well.
Yes. Yeah, that was also in California. And not only that, the Chiefs brought him out to try, before doing the mini training. So nobody knew, so I guess because it wasn't public, nobody could really toss a question out there and get his stuff. If somebody asked me, Dan, if you'd have known what you said, I said, I don't know. I'm already in the request by the time anyway, so I don't know. I probably would have just because I would have been doing my job, but they probably would have been trying to end the pressure quicker. But to the point, if you got arrested for that, if you got arrested for a traffic violation, or you got put over for a traffic violation, and you had a little fine. Now, I tell people this all the time, I'm coming from a different class. I know the city I live in. I know the environment that I live in. I'm not going to be caught riding dirty. I need to make sure the tag is legit. Just 2 days ago, make sure my insurance for next 6 months paid up. You're not going to put me over for the tags because they're legit for 2023. You're not going to put me over for insurance. I'm not going to be for speeding because I perfectly drive 5 miles below the speed limit, so you don't try to pull me over. I got 2 SUVs. I'm not trying to give you any reason to pull me over, whether I got something in the vehicle or not. You go out there with a good reason to pull me over me and then, I'm looking at the car. I'm in the live button because we got something going on. Everybody's going to know about it. Frank thing, when we got arrested the first time around, and according to his lawyer, I guess, the court said that it belonged to one of the members of the security team. I don't know if it was a member of the security team was in that vehicle with him. But if that was a member, if you know the member of the security team, they were in the vehicle with you, why didn't they confiscate it? Now, I don't know if they got to tell me something, but even if they did, they would have been arrested just by being around us. But the fact that you said somebody else's, what are you doing? So what are you doing? And I don't problem with riding around in the water. That's because money you do what you want to do at that time. So why do you feel like you need to have an Uzi in the vehicle?
That's the biggest question of all of it.
Handgun? Okay, I understand. I understand the Uzi. I don't have a problem with that. But the Uzi, what are you doing?
So I'm saying, like you said, you're covering your tracks to make sure that if in case in your scenario you were to have some type of weapon like that or something on you that could get you in trouble, you've got to make sure your coverage bases are covered. For me, it's mind-boggling that a man that just did this 3 months ago, or had this same situation 3 months ago, is riding around without the license plates. I believe in California, you have license plate on the front and back of the car. So he didn't have that according to the report. So you got to make sure that, like I said, you're covering all your bases for this not to happen. There's a bigger picture, like you said. In what scenario are you riding around in California with that weapon on you? What is the end game of all of that? Like, what is it you're doing in California? Most of the time, within a quarter of the season, 1/4 of the year, that you have to feel that you have to have that type of weapon on you. Like you said, the security guard. It doesn't check out in my eyes. Now, we know way less about the situation than we are going to in a couple of months. But why isn't that security guard stepping up and saying something? To me, it brought back the Chris Carter line when he talked about the foul guy. You got after the foul guy, right? Where was the foul guy? Because Frank took the foul. He got arrested, goes to 35K bail. He's the only one that's on the front lines of this. He's the only one that even mentioned the security guard. Where is this security guard at, man?
I think it's pretty obvious. It was hit like there. This isn't like some puzzle. Like, no. I think it's all pretty clear to everybody. Like, who would understand the situation? That was your gun, right? Now again, as somebody who also owns weapons, You have to, the first thing you do is one, make sure your weapon is licensed in whichever state you need it to be. You know the laws of that state in which you carry that weapon in which you are licensed for. And three, you better understand what you're getting yourself into, especially if you're riding it around. Some states allow you to have it in your car as basically part of your property, consider your house. California is not like that. They are the strictest gun law state besides, I believe, New York City, to even own a weapon. Now, what this reminds me of, and you kind of allude to why would you have this weapon? I'm going to play devil's advocate, and I thought a great article written about Brandon Alberts, former left tackle, years ago in ESPN magazine that I remember. And basically, he talked about how, as a pro athlete, especially if you're dealing in a city you're unfamiliar with, why you might have some trepidations about moving around the city in certain areas in which you walk, why you would carry such weapons with you. Because he talked about how he always would carry a handgun with him as well, because he was worried about things we've seen happen with Darren Williams and the Broncos, and him and Brandon Marshall. They got into an incident. Sean Taylor's incident that he had.
I hear you with one thing.
I know. But that makes me then question it. I understand. I say, your choice of weapon, your choice of weapon. Whatever is most effective for you. But
your choice of weapon is what gets you in trouble.
Which just makes me wonder, what did he, in his mind, envision going
days
down?
of just having the same situation in the same city. Like, what are you literally not thinking? That's the
Or if you are thinking, is there something that we're not aware of that you've gotten into a situation that's needs that?
I think you're narrowing down. Yeah.
That's what I said. I mean, what is it that you're doing that you might be involved with, or that someone might have you involved with, that you feel like you need to roll around with, with that type of risk. Again, I don't have a problem if you got. I don't have look. Patrick, to his credit, you can touch Patrick if you want to. Like if somebody or whatever, I mean, because Patrick, nobody's a wizard in Patrick, but I'm saying, you get out there, you can run up, talk and whatever. He doesn't roll like that. Even when he goes home, he doesn't roll like that. But the thing is, again, if you feel like you got to do like that in our business, it's going to be fun. You be changing your area, so changing your environment. I mean, man, trust me, I understand. And I'm saying this, but it's one thing when I lived in Pennsylvania, when I went to college and University of City, Missouri. It's a culture shock because it's a smaller city, it's a state capital, but it's right there between Kansas City and St. Louis. You have two big cities compared to your city, so things kind of slow stuff down. Things kind of end at 9, 10 o'clock. Okay, there's nothing to do. Then when I did a fellowship at the Lighthouse, I'm in Washington D.C. for 4 months. I'm like, I'm in everything. I'm at the club, with Secret Service and stuff. Wednesday nights, we got picnics, go dance and all the type of stuff. And I'm like, man, and they got the metro, they got a monorail, so you thinking like, we got airplanes, they got a train, train tickets from other countries. I'm like, I don't live in staying with the kids. What is this? I'm thinking like, we got far behind. So I understand if you're playing cards where you're, foster care or whatever, you grew up in LA and then you go to Seattle, and Seattle's big compared to Kansas City. Then you end up in Kansas City, and you decide to, live over in college or a lake or something like that. Okay, it's much slower, it's quiet, it's taxable, cheaper than if you work in California. But but you can actually sleep with your dog if you want to. I mean, at least in your area, you probably leave that out of here.
Certain areas,
you probably do that. I wouldn't do it. I don't do it, but I'm pushing a different class. What I'm saying, you don't have to worry about driving around with an Uzi in front of you. You can have a handgun with nothing to have a handgun. I'm not going to tell. Knowing the state of California and the gun laws and stuff like that. Then there's your security team, you should know that. And especially rolling around with an Uzi.
And to bring back the football side of this as well, it's now a fair question to ask, how serious is what the Chiefs are trying to do right now to Frank Clark? Because of the fact that, like you said, Patrick Mahomes, I think he's the ultimate standard, obviously. He ain't going to roll around like that. He ain't going to have any type of scenario like this whatsoever. He's not taking that risk. Frank Clark is one of the leaders. You got to remember, Brett Beach brought him in here, traded a first-round pick for this dude, gave this man $100 million, so he was obviously supposed to be a cornerstone piece to what this franchise was doing. We have to remember again, and I have to emphasize, and Darren, you know this better than most, this franchise is they are big on optics. They don't like negative attention. They knew that they were going to, the vetting process of all this, even though Frank Clark had his quote-unquote instance in 2014 before he ever played in the pro level, but there were situations in the past. This franchise is a second chance franchise as well, with Andy Reid being the coach. He's intimate, he's famous for that, giving players second chances in this league when they mess up and do things. So there's this unique situation with the Chiefs where they hate negative energy or negative topics or negative optics, but they also give second chances, so you're going to have this balancing act. So Frank Clark, the responsibility lies, because he's one of the veterans. Not one of these young dudes in here on a rookie deal that they just brought in to see what he can do. This is a guy they believe was supposed to be a leader of men in the locker room, and you have to imagine that this is now in question to the Chiefs of how serious is this to you, Frank, because we're in the midst of building a dynasty here. We can't have stupid situations like this happen, and that is exactly what this is. It's stupid. It doesn't do anything good for Frank as a man, for his career and contracts, future contracts. It does nothing good for the Chiefs because now they're losing one of those cornerstone pieces for at least 2 to 6 games this season at the hardest time of the season. It is just absolutely frivolous and just dumb and all the things you want to throw, all the superlatives you want to throw out there. I hate to be that guy that jumps over the edge on this, but it's something that you have to overreact to because this is now the second time he's done this in 3 months. It is not acceptable at all at any level. You've got to be smarter as a person. And if the Chiefs walk away from Frank Clark, and like I said on our show on Friday, I am expecting the Chiefs to hold on to Frank Clark this season, obviously. I think they need to see the bigger picture they want to hold on to whenever he ultimately comes back this season if the Feds don't go after him. But I am going to be holding out any type of reaction because I'm not surprised. But I've seen the Chiefs get rid of players for much less. I've seen them trade away Marcus Peters for a bag of chips for what he supposedly did or didn't do in that locker room. I've seen the whole Kareem Hunt situation play out. So it would not shock me at all if the Chiefs decided to move on from Frank Clark. I don't think that's going to happen, but I wouuld be shocked.
Well, let me say that. Let me ease your foot.
Good.
He's not coming back to the city after the season.
I
mean, you are his hands will be played out. Unless somehow, some way, he decides to throw for the league, he is not coming back. Obviously, depending on the charges and what takes place and how things are going, we could find ourselves in a scenario where the Chiefs could get out and get kind of a control. The thing is, with Kansas City, they got brought out for with the Travis Kelce and so that's why they didn't make any moves with him. The problem is that you knew about this arrest for Mike and you didn't go out in front of it. And now, because it was took place last Sunday, and the fact that the Stars kind of published it, but he was just the second list, you already knew about it. Now you got the answer for it. Now, it's really working in favor that they got 26 days before record. Publicly, maybe we didn't have 26 days. I mean, legally, just Chiefs league with the last one was 6, but I'm pretty sure we'll have that. We'll probably ask the question, we'll probably get they have more time or whatever. But if you're Frank Clark, try to get the for again. My thing is, and I got to for on the show this week, that I just have an issue because I don't want to see, more especially we got everything going right now. Ruin the lives in the name of this. And so, the reason why he's able to get out and even try to see 12, he's got the finance, if that was me, maybe, somebody walking the street in Los Angeles, in that same scenario, they're not afforded for saying, they're not going to be able to pull $35,000 for the next year. Right. Because, so they just don't have the wherewithal to need. The fact that you have the need, have the opportunity, have the wherewithal, and you still making decisions like this, that right there shows me that, if he was a captain, I don't think he was a captain, but if he was, it seems like a match chess.
Absolutely.
And so, but I don't want to assume, but I'm going to keep assuming that he's not, I know he's a veteran. He's better than me than the team, the Super Bowl. Both the decision-making company, I have to question.
And we talk about the second chances. Andy Reid knows that. Well, to your point about the fact that now he's going to have to own up to this because this is now the second one. The second chance is gone. So again, I'm anticipating, and I'm with you. I really anticipated to myself that Frank Clark was going to be playing his final season here in Kansas City, regardless of how he plays ultimately. But my point is that, like you said, he's undercutting himself as a person. He's undercutting because he's in the prime of his life. Physical prime for an athlete is around 27 to 30. He is right in the middle of that. This is his opportunity to go and make even more money and be even more successful, and even try to push himself into Hall of Fame conversations. If he's going to have a string of good seasons and get to multiple Super Bowls, get to 3 or 4 Super Bowls, then he can get himself in the TV acts afterwards. There's career aspirations he needs to be having after even his NFL career is over, and now he's undercutting that because no matter what happens after this season, no matter what happens legally, there's going to be teams that if they're looking for him to be a part of their team, you're talking about millions of dollars are now going to be lost just off the top of it because of multiple gun charges. And it's so unfortunate because, like you said, we've seen this too many times, man, where guys like this get an opportunity, they squander it, and they never fully gain back what they should have had. Even Tyreek Hill, in a situation where he was proven innocent, where he did literally nothing wrong, the only reason he pled guilty is because he didn't have the money back in college to fight for himself. He's still losing money because of that. So imagine somebody who now has multiple legal allegations out against him, how much money he's going to be losing, even when he plays such a vital and valuable position at defensive end. Because the NFL, you look around the league, they're looking for guys who can get their quarterback, at least put that pressure on, and they make big money. But now for Frank Clark, unfortunately, as solid a player as he is, not great, as solid as he is, he can go out there and get another $100 million contract if he plays out this season. But now that's gone. Those days are gone, man. So now he has to try to salvage whatever he can for his career. Don't make it sound too extreme, but that is where he's literally at right now. So he's got to fight, man, for what he's got.
Before we get out of here, some Chiefs fans were upset and what Travis Kelce said this week, where he agreed with me because at the time posting the show where they lost to the Super Bowl, wasn't really supposed to see. We thought that it was a failure. Yeah, and I guess a lot of Chiefs fans were upset. Now look, my thing is there's a gradual process. 2018, losing the way that they did in the potential game, a lot of chance to come back, lose those motivations, i.e. like Prince Ward losing 92 out, in Game 7 against the San Francisco Giants. They come back to make sure they win out, they go 5, they win out, they have to win the they ran it back, won the World Series in 2014. Chiefs come back to make sure motivated together. They go out, come 3 straight games, come from behind to win the Super Bowl. Next season, they get all the way back. Essentially, you think before they win another 14-1, but the 14-2, reaching Super Bowl injury, kind of accept them going to the game with the offensive line. Is that the last head of time. It wasn't a quote-unquote successful season. If one thing is you've never been really cool enough, you make the Super Bowl and you don't, okay, that's the good deal. But the fact that you won the year before and you lost it and then you have to do it that second year. I was thinking that, it's ridiculous, and it was ridiculous, and that's what it is. But when you got a dance with them, we're missing that season of the way. And of course, Travis says that we thought that it was a fall season. Which is good because how do you dissect them? Do you have that same money that you had in 2018 coming back in 2019?
Yeah, I'd say this, the reason I wrote this comment the most is if he came from Patrick Mahomes, everybody expected him to be the best player in the representation from the team and the league as a whole. But the reason it bears weight for me is the fact that it's the longest Chief on the team, the longest tenured Chief on the team right now, Travis Kelce, since 2013. The fact that he has this mentality, I think, can help sway a lot of those old school Chiefs fans that have that old school mentality of let's win 10 games and let's just hope for the best. No, there's a new standard. It's championship mentality, it's championship mindset, it's championship expectations. That's the reality of this team, the new reality. So they need to keep that mentality. I feel if they keep that mentality, you're going to start to see a lot more. Just look at the revolution that happened, like you said, about the world. Once they started getting the World Series, back-to-back World Series, that became an expectation here in Kansas City, where they were starting to, the culture of Kansas City started to change as a whole. that same culture is being changed now here in Kansas City from the football side of things. If anybody watched that Super Bowl last year and then watched the Super Bowl before that, tell me which one was a success. Let's be truthful about it, man. So I appreciate Travis Kelce coming out and saying that, because he's 100% right. You and I are on the same page with that. That is the expectation. That is the new standard. Win championships. You don't win championships here with this team as currently constructed and throughout the Patrick Mahomes era, it is a failure. Plain point blank simple. That's all it is, man.
All right, so for the network, when we come back, we're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, we'll be joined by two-time Olympian and KC. Central Bowie, just for those of you who know about that type of stuff. We'll be joined by Mona Lee in studio, talking some track and field and from the Olympic Games. People out there for the ship, right here on Sports Radio 18.
Hey everybody, this is Nick Lowry of the Kansas City Chiefs and Canaway Sports, and you're listening to The Ship. Darren Smith on Sports Radio 810 WHB and ESPN Kansas City. And guess what? There's another ship coming down, baby. It's called a championship.
Are you tired of being sidelined by nagging pain? Hi, I'm Emmitt Smith, Hall of Famer and Dance Superstar. Happy to tell you about QC Kinetics and their biologic therapies for treating pain without drugs or surgery.
Are you suffering from chronic pain in your hips, knees, shoulder, or lower back? Are you tired of living with arthritis pain? QC Kinetics offers natural pain treatment that can repair and restore damaged tissue in your joints.
Listen, I know pain, and I've seen firsthand how powerful biologic therapies are. Patients at QC Kinetics rave about their results because they're getting alive. They're getting moving.
These exciting regenerative treatments used to be available only to pro athletes like Emmitt. Now they're available to anyone thanks to QC Kinetics. Call today for your free consultation.
Get long-lasting results from our friends at QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics 816-412-6299 or 435 in state line. Call 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics 816-412-6299.
What makes for a great vacation? Depends on who you ask. Are you looking to get away or bring everyone together? Do you want to get outside and play or see a play at the plate? Fortunately, however you operate, I'm the destination you've been looking for. The name's Missouri, but you can call me Mo. And I have just one question. What's your MO? Come see me at visitmo.com.
Brought to you by Missouri Division 3.
All right, we have Coach Yoga Lattes coming up in the yoga room.
At Finley's Fitness, personal trainers shouldn't have to personally do everything.
Games that court. That class started 2 minutes ago. I am late.
Indeed can help them hire the people they need.
Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Crucial staffing has been a vital component to the battle against COVID-19 nationwide. Their operation all starts in Kansas City, and they're committed to being a healthcare staffing and emergency management company that can handle nearly any staffing need with speed and quality. Crucial Staffing has the nation's largest volume of deployable clinical and non-clinical staff of reserve. You can learn about by visiting crucialstaffing.com/contact or calling 888-222-6359. Explore more about the Crucial Crew today.
Join Union Broadcasting in thanking local companies that care. Union Broadcasting includes CBD American Shaman for their support of the Derek Thomas and Neil Smith Third and Long Foundation, stacking illiteracy among urban youth. Through social, cultural, and educational activities, the Third and Long Foundation helps participating children in school and beyond. You can also help by donating at thirdandlong.org. Thank you, CBD American Shaman, for being a company that cares.
Shareways, powered by Sports Radio 810 WHB, wants to use the power of golf to change the lives of young people in our community. Join Kansas City legend Tom Watson on Sunday, June 27th for a great night of Top Golf. It's the Blasters, a Top Golf competition for golfers of all ages and skill levels, benefiting Shareways, Deep on Course, and First Tee of Greater Kansas City. This star-studded event will sell out. Get your tickets today at blasterkc.com. The Blasters, a blast unlike any other.
Refuel GMC knows that you don't have all day to buy your next vehicle. Hi, this is Travis Reed. That's why Refuel GMC is perfecting the 90-minute car buying process. You complete most of the process from your home or office. When you arrive, you can inspect your vehicle, complete your paperwork, and receive a thorough tutorial on all your vehicle's features. No back and forth, no headaches. Go to reviewgmc.com or call 816-436-6300 to get started. Review GMC is values driven.
There's only one more program that can have your home paid off in less than 10 years and have you living debt-free without changing your spending habits. The Freedom Loan, exclusive at A1 Mortgage, works by paying mostly principal first before the interest ever has a chance to accumulate. This lowers your loan balance, saving you thousands in interest and taking years off your mortgage. Call A1 Mortgage now at 816-822-8888, 822-8888. If you're serious about your finances and want to have your home paid off in less than 10 years, the Freedom Loan is perfect for you. Call A1 Mortgage now and enjoy no out-of-pocket closing costs and your loan closed in about 10 days. 816-822-8888, 822-8888. Or apply online at a1mortgage.com.
A1 Mortgage. Reality is what we do.
Mortgage Group LLC and Kim Flexing. Name license number programs and rates without notice.
This is Solomon Wilcox of PFF and Sirius XM NFL Radio. And you're listening to The Shift with Darren Smith on Sports Radio 810 WHB and ESPN Kansas City.
Welcome back to The Shift with Darren Smith here on Sports Radio 810. With you live in studio in the studio still host of the Special Podcast and for the very special guest came the Central Athletic Alexandria. But all of her nonetheless graduate in the class of 2000. The one where I forgot how many state titles did you win? All of them. Not saying no, I haven't done it. What was like 9, 12? It was a lot. But we are joined in studio by a 20-time relative All-American and two-time Olympian. My good friend, Miss Nina. Thank you so much for blessing us with your Olympic presence today.
You're not worthy. You're not worthy.
No, I saw how many state titles you won in your sister.
I'm going since I was a freshman. I want to say I lost the one, but I won long jump twice.
So I'm about to wonder. I knew you won the 1, 2 in the relays.
Yeah.
But, you know how I'm always wondering, because I know we do it in high school. Nobody run the 4x200 in high school. How did we do it in college or college? Did we just don't do it?
Yeah, they just don't do it. I mean, it's the fun again.
Yeah, I love it. But, anyway, yeah. So, okay. So, first things first. We'll talk about the Olympic trials. What should be your takeaway from it this time? Now, I know coming into it, and I know coming out of it, I think the big. I know we talk about. There's a lot of shows, Allison Felix and what she's going to do. But I think that the true star that's going to be coming out of those. Coming after today's is what the 800 meters is going to be a clean mode. What do what's going to take away? What is the most surprising to you, and what's the most disappointing with the Olympic trials that we've seen in this fight?
I think she was cold-blooded. Like, seeing her run the 4, she can go up, she can go down, she can run relays. And she's, I want to say, one of the youngest.
Yeah, she just turned 19 a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited to see her run. It's a couple people I'm really excited because this is a new generation.
Yeah, and what's interesting, and I thought, look, I was disappointed that she wasn't trying to work so well. She just said, she said an 800-year event. She just didn't want to, she thought it would be cool, but she was like, I just want to focus on it. I'm like, man, I want to see you do that because you guys, you're a child prodigy, so to speak, or she was breaking records at the age of 16. She's from Trenton, New Jersey. Yeah. She was breaking for 400 to 600 to 800 meters, whether it was high school or college. I mean, the first year she killed me. I had a chance to meet her briefly while I was in Eugene. Because I don't think she would have to run. I don't think she ran in region of the world. But she got a lot of spirit. She got a lot of fun. She's just someone who is real full of life. But the fact that she ran the fastest 400 split at national. She ran a 48.87. I'm like, gosh, gosh, I mean, that's just some men run, and I ain't gonna say how fast I can run in 400, maybe 70 seconds, but she got me by a lot. But again, because you were healthy, obviously, when you came out of Central and you signed with LSU, you were a big time superstar athlete when you went to LSU. Being someone who was in their shoes, what is it? I mean, what are the expectations that she is going to have to try to live up to, competing today, knowing that she probably make the top, or should make the top three, but then, I think people are hoping, I'm not hoping that she runs ankle over the 4x4, she would pitch to another, but what type of expectations can she expect knowing where she's about to enter right now?
I mean, she just supposed to go and have fun. She's young. It's the Olympics. She never seen stuff that you're not used to, but I mean, she did have that experience in World Championships. I think she'll be okay. She has the right coaches pushing her. She has a little bit of experience, but she knows how to run. That's the main thing. She can go out there and compete with the best of them.
Now, I don't know if this was a little bit new or freshman, but I was with you. So she just started at Nike last week. Freshman year, and I know there was a quarter mile where there was a gentleman from Michigan who broke the national high school record for the mile. And he just signed a deal. So he hadn't graduated from high school. He was graduated from high school. But now, I don't even know the college now, but he did that. Signed with them. Was the opportunity for you to sign with someone available for you when you were coming out?
Mm-hmm. Get into all that. I just knew I was going to college. I don't remember any agencies that came up to me or my parents. But once college hit and I was running fast, maybe my sophomore year, they were after me. My coach couldn't leave my side. So, yeah, I'm going to finish school.
I have a question because this is something I've never gotten a chance to actually ask questions to a Olympian before, so this is a real honor right now. But it's something I've always wondered because I get the vibe that you're somebody who wants to keep it very simple. You're like, I was just focused on going to college. I was focused on running. I was focused on what I was here to do. But what are some of the challenges that I feel that a lot of folks who are overlooked or didn't know that an Olympian or somebody who does what you've done goes through that maybe don't see or that goes unrecognized? What are some of the challenges for you as an athlete you've had to go through?
Once you get that check, if you're not mature enough for it, you're going to blow it. You're not going to pay taxes. Everybody's going to want money. It's a lot of drama that comes with money at a young age. A lot of the athletes out there start buying all kinds of stuff. It's amazing. They want to pay for everybody's meal. Well, we got contracts too. We can pay for our own stuff. Hey, okay.
Right.
Now, you competed in the trials even as a senior in high school. So, what was it, what was it like for you? How nervous were you? I know you talked about like a thing where you just want to have fun, but did you put your push on yourself to try to want to make sure did you want to see how you would defend against some people who are actually going to be competing with it? So what was your mindset at the time when you first competed as a senior in high school to when you competed, later on down the road as you matured in age?
Well, my confidence is up. But I knew that those girls were extremely, way more strong than I was. You can see me sitting next to Marion Jones. I was like 115. It didn't even matter. Like, I never even looked at the weight before this. So I'm going up against these college girls, which I didn't think I'd make it after the first round. And then I made it. And I was like, oh, shoot. I'm standing there with Gail Beavers on one side and somebody else on the other side. She's like, just come out here and just run with us. And I'm like, shaking. But I mean, I studied them before I went. I wanted to push like them to 30. I knew I could run with them, but I wasn't as strong. So I had to figure out a game plan. It was a completely different race when I got in there with them.
And did you only go in the 100 or the 200?
Just the 100.
Okay. And so, obviously, what transformation you were just having it, when you were in college, putting in to go back in 2004 and 2008 to compete again with the tribe again. What were some of the things different that you did there, and what type of confidence did you have in that you would end up making it to the Final Three to make it to the Olympics?
2004, I didn't think I would make it. I was exhausted coming out of NCAA. I mean, it was growth that just moved me in 100 and 200. I thought I was going to go in and win, run 2 balls. I was tired. So coach, I really want to Olympic trials, and coach was like, just execute, and then you can go home for the summer. I was like, okay, cool. I can do that. Relax.
Well, so you were talking about football really cool that on here, but what's for people who don't understand what you think, okay, well, what's the time frame difference? And when you said you were tired coming out of the NCAA, you were talking about football, what is, from the athlete standpoint, what's the biggest hurdle or what's the biggest difference when you're competing more NCAA and then coming back a week or a week and a half later to compete for the Olympic trial?
Well, in college, all the girls weren't running 11-0. When you go to it's the pros, they all are running that or better.
Right.
So you got to bring your A game every time. And then when I first started, my rookie season, they had 4 rounds. Now they're running like 3, maybe 2, and the competition isn't as hard. Now I'm trying to remember, I doubled. I was one of the few that doubled. They didn't double me. So, I mean, there's no way I'd go into a trials and not run the 1 and the 2. But I would be.
I mean, so yeah, she dropped that for sure. And I'm like,
LSU girls don't really like running this.
why not?
I don't know. I was okay with it, but they wouldn't let me run.
So you come from a different class, so that's different. Yeah.
It's expected. You run 1 or 2, and then if you good, you run the 4-2, maybe the 4x4. You got to run everything.
Yeah.
Those girls just do that.
I'm
just happy. I was happy we didn't have to run. We didn't have enough girls to run the 4x4.
Now, as far as Olympic culture, that's something I'm also very interested in. How is the camaraderie between you and the competitors, the people you're competing against? Is there a friendliness there? Is there like the rigidness? Because I imagine there's a little bit of both, but I don't want to speak for somebody who's actually been in the dance. Like, what is Olympic culture like for you when it comes to your peers and your competitors?
Well, because I'm so quiet, I didn't bother anybody. But, when you stand next to them, we all lethal out there. Half of us don't want to run together. I don't want to know your routine. I don't want to mess it. I mean, I wouldn't mind messing up somebody's routine. I mean, there's a couple girls that I trained with that I really liked, and I knew their weaknesses. As soon as a boy, an ex-boyfriend, I think a real boyfriend, and she lined up there as soon as we were people. Hey, that girl was good.
You felt that?
I gotta get the check.
So, how do the coaches, when it comes time to trying to put up looking at people who made it as often as qualify for the relay? So, like after the top 3, let's say top 3 100, you qualify to move on to the Olympics. And then I guess if you meet a certain time or certain standard, do you also qualify, but you get added on if they decide to pick you for the relays, or do you still? So basically, like top 6 in the 100, there's the top 3 and then the other 3 qualifies for the relays. Do they also get a chance to go to Tokyo as well, or others get a picture in the relays?
They'll go through a couple of races where they run relays before, I guess, relay practice, camp, or whatever. And if they show fitness, if they have experience, if they mesh well with the other girls, that's usually how they pick.
How did it work for you when you
I'm never soft. I mean, you know, I'm playing.
You got that. No, I have a talk down, I'm just curious, because after somebody's going to be listening, I know my background, so the next level, if she gets the opportunity, 3 years from now to compete or whatever, people get, how would they, what would they do to look forward to?
I remember my last TCTs I was maybe 5 or 6 in the 100, but they didn't choose me because they said I didn't show fitness. But I got there and ran 10.9 twice back to back. So that is showing fitness.
Yeah. I would say that would be better if showing
fitness. They picked the younger crowd, which is cool. They need the experience too, but I mean, I feel like I would have did more damage and more experience, and you know what you'll get with somebody who knows how to perform. You get the girls that's just happy to be there. No, you gotta go there ready.
We are joined in studio by two-time Olympian and former social graduate, along with OSU graduate, Mona Lee, 20-time NCAA All-American. Mona, what do you see in this 100 meters that that's going to take place in Turkey? Obviously, probably with the first she's exploded on the scene and she's got the whole flow building thing going with the door and wings and the different colored woods and stuff like that. Do you foresee her as the favorite to win 100 this year?
And definitely one of the favorites. I would say she's definitely medal contender. We still have the girl from the UK, Dina Asher Smith, and we have Shelly. So, I mean, I'm going for hometown. Yeah. I'm going for the US girl. But Dina has showed better fitness, more consistent, and she has beat both of them. Or even cold weather, whatever, she has the upper hand right now.
I am curious. Gabby Thomas won the 200 meters. Yes, and so I want to ask you about that because, like you said, I know you're running 200 with us. That's your race. But looking at that, it's only one woman, Flojo, who has run a faster time than Gabby Thomas has. Looking at, I followed the race I was until yesterday. I didn't get a chance to watch the track last night. Her, Jenna Prundine, and then Amelia Battle, who was top 3 finishers, and of course Allison finished 5th. But looking at this, who do you see coming out of that 200 when you go there? Because I ain't like that Jenna chick, she had the legs, she had the strides, she was, I know she was looking like, I think she medaled in Rio. I think she was a bronze medal something.
I want to say they medaled. I want to say they medaled.
Yeah, so, but yeah, looking at her, I mean, she kind of, she surprised me.
She didn't surprise me. I knew she was
good, but I had never seen her run before. And when I saw her, I was like,
her knee lifts and everything in straight line, she's ready. Yeah.
I have a question though. I want to know, what is it that I know it's hard to always, when you go back when you're young, it's hard to remember something, but being in this for as long as you have, what is it that you realized you had? That you knew that this was going to be the trajectory of your life, this was going to be your path? Like, at what point did you really feel like, I got it? I'm gonna go places now?
I would say senior in college, and I actually made the team. Because before, I didn't think I was going pro. I just said, I'm just going to home, I'm going to get a job, I'm going to do something in fashion or something. And I made the team, and I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm going pro. Coach was like, they ever sign this contract before you go to trial, so you don't have to worry about it, you can just focus. And I was like, all right. So that was it. I really wasn't thinking.
And you mentioned how a lot of folks in the Olympics when they get the check, they think it's really easy to blow that money. What are some other deterrents or distractions that may have come your way, challenges-wise, that you were able to avoid? Because I would imagine being an athlete of any magnitude and getting any attention, there are people just throwing things left and right at you. I would imagine that's been a challenge that you've had to, unfortunately, have to take on at times.
I've watched a lot of my friends shoot themselves. They get money, they want to eat out every day. I didn't change it. I'm still eating the same stuff. Then you have different people like the boyfriends that come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Most of the guys that I dated while I was pro came in because I was being in the league. It wasn't that I had a guy come and he just wanted to run. He wanted to train professionally. I didn't even know it. I thought he liked me.
Wait. So he pretended to do the whole boyfriend thing just to get free training lessons?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Wow, that's cold.
We ain't gonna say no names, but
I don't know. She was choosing for the weekend. Exactly. Now, I had a coach that said that nobody's going to be shining umbrella in the 200 in Tokyo. What do you think? Number behind what you think she was a good chance to win it all?
Yeah, he's rich.
Okay.
I always go with the home team.
Okay, all right.
She clarified that earlier, so
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
I mean, she was running like this with her hands up.
Right.
21-6.
Right.
They all run through the line this time.
So again, now it seems a lot of times that they like to end it and like to my club, but some of the other races, again, I'm thinking the same noise, the same noise when she's going to walk again. I'm sure the second truck, but listen, she didn't run the 800, and I think she only ran it once this year to try, have the best time. But she only ran it once, but all season long she ran the 400. She already was 49 point something, which was the fastest time in the year. She got the fastest time in the U.S. But the 400 and the 800, the 18 or whatever she did that. And she would have had the fastest time in the trials, but she decided to run that. Of course, we were talking about her race, first coach of evening. She's going to be showcased a lot on NBC tonight this afternoon. I'm not for it. So sister, I told Michael Coleman, you better make sure you get an interview with her. Now, just before she works out. But in the 400, what are your thoughts on that? How do you see that unfolding? And who do you, if you were the coach, who would you have on your 4x1, 4x2 year?
That was a whole bunch of questions in one.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going with Bush to carry anchor. I want Gabby second. I mean, I guess she has a better start, but there's one other girl that has a good start. I kind of don't really know the other girls' names yet. I'm going to know because they're new.
No, you're talking about 4x1.
4x1.
You know Jenny on it?
Yeah, she's been on it before. She knows, she's from Oregon. She knows how to run relays. She knows how to champion. That's what she's supposed to do. 4x4, I'm going with, I don't know the order, but Kim, Kimmy Little, Delilla, and whoever won the 400 Open. And she can run anywhere because all of those girls are fast. They all gonna run 49, 48 splits. So I mean, who can pop it off like that fast? We're not gonna have any competition. People keep talking about it for days.
So look, you've been to both. I know you went to both, right? So I'm curious now. See, now I'm gonna pick you. I'm gonna pick you. What kind of food are you? I mean, what were you eating? Just the native food, or did you eat like a cafeteria?
They had a cafeteria with almost every country's food. Like you can walk around the whole thing and there's food everywhere. And McDonald's.
Of course, McDonald's.
So when you guys tired of eating all the other weird stuff and salads, you go get chicken nuggets.
Did you happen to know anybody that had a weird regimen of as far as dieting goes? Either it looked like they didn't care, or like when you hear stories of Michael Phelps eating like 19 McDonald's pancakes in the morning, and like something crazy like that. Did you know anybody that had some outlandish, or even yourself some outlandish dietary? Or maybe just a hankering every once in a while.
A lot of them only ate McDonald's.
What? Like me, I was probably eating McDonald's. I'm a picky eater. Like I'm not trying that. I don't like that.
See, Ocho Cinco says the same thing. Chad Johnson says because you didn't eat enough burgers is why you want to get away.
You mentioned that you had a diet you stuck to. I'm kind of interested now what exactly said diet was.
They don't say diet for being clear.
The food regimen that you would stick to.
Yeah, I always have to make sure there was some type of chicken or something heavy within like 2 days before, or I would be too light.
Yeah.
Protein heavy. I had to stick to that, and then I had to have my iron. I can't just take a pill and do it because it makes my body feel different. So I had to eat it.
Yeah.
And as far as how people eat pasta, that makes me sleepy. I can't do it. Heavy carbs. Because when I eat it, I'm gonna be dragging.
Well, that's true. I've made spaghetti since I've been moving the weight, and it's just killing me. Like,
Man, I made some good 2 days ago, Darren. You would have loved it.
Cinzetti's last night, she loved it, so that's a prerequisite.
I went over my smoke up to the they were like, you need some of that. No, I swear, what? He said I was killed. Like, you don't want spaghetti. I was like, nah, man, we know you serious, man. Yeah, I've turned out for those, but that is my reason.
That's when you know it's real.
My reason. But when you look, what type of relationship were you able to make while you were in Athens and they really working with your teammates? I mean, do they still ask today whether there's anything where there's some mutual respect or, like you said, whether that's room with them or practice with them or anything, but did you all just, even though you all were on the same team but still competing against one another, when did it separate you doing ownership and business?
I feel like most of my generation, we're all like that. We still talk trash. It doesn't matter, but it's not like how Shakira used to go down where everybody hates it. It was just, you can do that and they'll be okay with it.
No, why did they hear it?
Thank you.
Yeah, I think we both know.
She has a huge started on her back. And I think
you talking social media stuff? Or?
Yeah, the media is making it seem like
she's not putting up. I mean, at least from what I've seen, I would love to hear your thoughts on it because I think the question is valid though, because she's not afraid of being who she is. She's not buttoned up. She's not corporate structured. She's who she is.
Yep.
Wearing the long string nails and stuff like that. I love that about her. Refreshing to see an athlete that way.
Just like one of the guys.
Yeah, she's just who she is. I love that. I love that about her. It's refreshing. It's something good to see, and it's bringing a lot of attention to this sport, to things of that nature, because there are a lot of people out there that would love to watch it, but they don't have somebody they're attached to, and then they see that like, oh my gosh, this is the figure you've been waiting on. I love seeing that. It's great to see, man.
Yeah, it is. The whole point of her, like, being so confident about herself.
Yeah.
I mean, she's talking trash to herself.
Yeah.
She's really not talking about everybody else, but they taking it that way.
And she's motivated by family situations too. She talked about it. She lost her grandma just a little while ago. Her mom and her grandma's been help raising her, and she gets emotional on these interviews. That's real stuff. Like, people want that realness. She's got it. She possesses it, and that's why I'm drawn to it. I mean, I'll be honest. That's not a sport I believe in attaching my entire life. Because you can see, I'm not a runner. You know what I mean? So this isn't something I can relate to. So
you're the field part.
Good job. You know what I mean? A high five you on the way by. You know what I mean? When you go 60 miles an hour. But it's just really cool to see. I think that's authenticity is what people look for. So
yeah. I'm being at LSU. She's from LSU too.
Yeah.
They all cocky down there. That's where I went to school. I didn't talk like they did, but I'm on mic drop. I'm on baton drop. And my coach was telling me act like you've been there. But I wanted to be fast too, but I really I'm more mellow. But if they talk trash, okay, let's do this.
Yeah. When you look at what you're reading yourself, did they, I mean, I know that's true, but did your resume just put you on the starting for about 100 blocks and you look like this?
I still had to work my way up. I ain't gonna say bully because you can't bully everybody. But at some point, I was like, okay, y'all throwing elbows, I'm gonna throw it back. You can't beat me. We in practice and they stay behind me. I'm running the pack. Well, it's too slow. I'm gonna pick it up. And they would get mad, but I'm like, look, either y'all gonna get better or I'm gonna lose you. And then eventually, everybody kind of got nicer. It's like, all right, doing this pace is a little faster, it's gonna make us better. 4x4 seconds better, faster. New girls were wanting to come in. It got a lot of attention just to us.
Were you running them too?
Only 4x1. When I had to run 4x4, I used to have attitude.
You ever have Michael Jordan? I don't know if you watched the last games. Michael Jordan talks about how he was literally almost sometimes create scenarios where he's giving a chip on his shoulder, a competitive edge.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a situation like that where like you convinced yourself that someone gave you a side eye or was talking mess on you behind your back, and it may not even be true? Use something like that to add that little extra flair to give you that motivation.
No, I was all about execution. My coach gave me something to do, I do it. But a couple of the girls like Lola Jones, coach would cuss her out before every meet. She's like, oh, the next thing you know, she's killing. I was like, all right.
As you said.
Look, I don't think three times I want to be able to finish out the show with this. We're going to come in, we're going to talk to them about our experiences in Athens and Beijing and just the aura of the atmosphere that people can expect when we have the opening game in Tokyo next month. People asking some shit, you listen to us on Sports Radio 18, go be
This is Lee Steinberg of Steinberg Sports, and you're listening to The Shift with Darren Smith on Sports Radio 810, WHB, and ESPN Kansas City.
After receiving thousands of submissions, now it's time to turn it over to you for voting on the second annual Sports Radio 810 WHB ESPY Awards. Go to 810WHB.com to vote for your favorite moments, players, and coaches. Be sure to cast your ballot before voting closes July 6th at midnight. Get extra votes by sharing and using hashtag 810ESPYs. Winners announced July 9th. Go to 810WHB.com to vote today. Brought to you by Crucial Staffing.
Hi, Royals fans. This is Dayton Moore. The very same experts who treat the Royals can treat you too. Whether you're into sports or into your kids, you can count on the specialists at the University of Kansas Health System Sports Medicine and Performance Center. From injury prevention to sports performance to leading-edge treatments, they'll keep you at the top of your game. Whatever it may be, you deserve the Royals treatment. For an appointment, visit RoyalsTreatment.com.
Firework Mania Superstore is now open with a huge selection of the best prices 3 miles south of Olathe on Highway 169. Stay cool and pick up all your fireworks in an air-conditioned showroom. They have the coolest thing you'll ever see, pyro skiing. Just scan the barcode and watch the fireworks before you buy it. The Firework Mania Superstore is the nicest fireworks store in Kansas City. Look for the gorillas 3 miles south of Olathe on Highway 169. Check them out online at firework-mania.com.
Hey, Kansas City, it's Brian Pringle with Victory Ford at the Legends in KCK. Victory Auto Group has joined a nationwide network of auto dealers looking to purchase inventory that collectively bid for your vehicle. Would you like to know what they're willing to pay for your car, whether you buy another or not? For your simple no-hassle quote, just text your name to 913-229-6384. You can also visit us at the Legends Auto Plaza on the southeast corner of 435 and Parallel, or online at victoryfordkc.com. Victory Ford, where our first price is better than our last.
I need tech that can make me as productive in my home office as I am at my office.
It's possible with Staples Connect. I need a fast, new PC so I don't miss a beat in college. Staples Connect makes it possible with the tools you need to work and learn. And now get up to $150 off select PCs like the HP Pavilion laptop with Intel i5 processor. Explore what's new at your local Staples or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. N73
What's up, guys? This is Holly Moore from NFL Network, and you're listening to The Shift with Darren Smith on Sports Radio 810, WHB, and ESPN Kansas City.
Welcome back to the Shift here on Sports Radio 18, WHB. We're listening to live in the studio. Still run by Lance Trivia, host of the Smith Podcast, and two-time Olympian
I feel like you should just like move to like, hey, we got these great Leah and Lance here. Let's move on. I should have got front billing on that one. I appreciate that list.
Order of appearance.
Yeah.
No. So I'm curious. Take us again. We see it from the rabbit point of the viewer. Give us an idea what opening night is when you're walking on the track or when it's just people in the Master Center. Give us an idea of what that is like for a first, second time, going through opening night.
I was running around trying to get autographs.
Yeah, that is
and Iverson was there. Oh my God! I was like, and you can just so it was like Tim Duncan, LeBron, all these different. I was snapping pictures left and right.
And to that point, how is it that you know the person that you see watching on television? How was the interaction with him throughout the game? Did you get a chance to interact with him much?
I ran the entire time. I ran the 1 and 2. I got 1 day off. I didn't get to do much. My family got to come in the village. The 1 day I did get to go out. I was a bit stressed and late because it was a false start in the 100 and they didn't call it back. So I pretty much cried the whole night. Then I had to refocus. I remember my parents, the 1 day I was out going around in the trainer, they, Yao Ming was the hotel at the Bethlehem.
Nice.
And they wouldn't leave him alone. Like the media said, here comes my dad, being his bodyguard. And the next thing you know, it's like they were best friends the whole rest of the trip. Yeah, I mean, he could barely speak English. My dad acting like he know what he's saying. Yeah, that was probably one of the coolest things. But I mean, a lot of the other athletes didn't really remember. Kobe was in Beijing, and I mean, he's going to the cafeteria walking around. The first thing is that everybody gets the pictures and autographs now because after this, I need to focus. I don't know how he stayed in the village. It was the same for Michael Phelps. Everybody wanted pictures. Media was outside the door every day, and I can't imagine that. Just trying to be normal and focused, and then you come outside.
We wonder why Michael Jordan retired 3 times this year, man. Fame sometimes
it's a lot.
Yeah.
But hold on. I'm still at the fact when she said, "Put the picture in my." And, so it's like it's like it's a line for he's like so okay.
Yep, and I was right there getting my picture. I know you were. Somebody when I came back home, I took we had the old cameras. I took it to Walgreens. I did not get any pictures back. Somebody jacked me. They jacked me. I don't have any other pictures. They got them. Somebody's photographing me is nice right now. So we got, yeah. We're talking about here in Kansas City.
Walgreens would have been sued. Motherfuckers would have been fired.
Yeah,
they would have been kicked off.
That's what I'm saying, man. So we got your picture on a plaque somewhere, on a fireplace.
Marbury, everybody. What in the world? It was some great pictures.
I've been, and so I was now. So when the games were good, because I know you said you were running around the pool. You wouldn't do the track system. It wouldn't start out with it.
No, but we have camp. We get there right before. There was some wrong. Like I said, we ran 4 rounds. Those are 2 a day, or you get 1 rest day. And you start at 200. Then you got the 4x1 too. So.
And I'm like, what's the daily schedule like for your? And obviously, and I'm just saying daily as in you were there about to just try to say what was your regular day, start day, end day?
Depending on if I had 2 races, most of the time I wake up for breakfast, maybe 8:30. I probably don't get work on. If not, I just relax and walk around and stay active because I don't want to lay around all day. Head to the track maybe 3 hours before because you just never know. They made lanes for us, so it was like the carpool lanes, the buses. So most of the time we'll get there on time, but we want to be there about 2 hours so we can get warmed up. I would always make sure I use the restroom at a certain time. Like my coach was like, okay, go check out this and make sure you hear the starter. It's so many different things, but I had a routine that I practiced since college, so it wasn't that much harder.
Did you enjoy the process all along, or was there a time for you just like, I'm getting worn out, man? Did it ever at points in times feel like it became a job as opposed to an actual calling?
I definitely took breaks. There was a couple years, I maybe took 2 years where I just went back to try to finish school. And then I had a couple injuries that kept me from running, so that became a job trying to get back healthy. But then there was times where at one point they didn't want me. Like, Nike never cut me, but if I wasn't the new superstar or something like that, they wouldn't put me in races. And a lot of athletes didn't want me running against them. So I'm not going to get in the race and they don't want me to take their money. So it's a lot of politics. You just have to learn to deal with them. You got to mingle and know the right people in order to get in races.
Were you able to, I mean, if you wanted to, because I know you would get to the venue after your other days, so you wanted to, could you have gone to like other events and just to go check it out? If you wanted to go see the dream team, where would you go?
We got tickets to anything you wanted to go to. It's just, we didn't have time. I gave my tickets to like random people in the city. Like, go have fun. Here's some gymnastics tickets. Go see Kobe in person. They still email me to this day. My mom and dad made all kinds of friends in China.
They're living it up out there.
In Athens too, they have friends where they can go somewhere else. They have gift shops. They send them all kinds of stuff. That's awesome.
You're trying to go to the country of China. It's loaded. So look, speaking of that, you got a chance for Athens. Which and don't want to say experience, but what location would you go to after
I had a lot of fun in Athens. I'm not, like I said, I'm quiet. I'm not a party person, but the split party after
It was awesome.
it was great.
Yeah, I bet it was.
I had a blast. Black Rouge parties are fun, but Black parties, you didn't even have to have alcohol to have that party to be that fun. It was just fun.
We joined in studio by two-time Olympian and on the ship with Darren Smith, Sports Radio 810 WC. Again, look, remember, Tokyo is the next Olympic club, the first Los Angeles will be hosting the 2028 Olympics. What are you hoping to see in this upcoming Olympics? What is track, gymnastics, basketball, is there anything that you're most looking forward to in this upcoming Olympic Games?
I'm looking forward to swimming. I was a swimmer diver, so I really pay attention to that. I'm definitely going to pay attention to everything track. I might watch a little basketball, but I haven't really been paying attention. I haven't watched that much TV when it came to basketball. Gymnastics too. I had to learn how to flip in to dive, so. I'm an all-around athlete, so.
And I told you, and I'm so excited. I'm so much looking forward to this Olympic Games because of what took place in 2016 and some storylines where, the hurdles about it and those things about the team and doing those things like that. And I always tell people, I've never seen this. We're going to see what life is like post-LeBron goes. This Olympics will kind of give a chance to see post-LeBron, post-Steph Curry, some of the other athletes. Even though they're coming back, but then you got a lot of the lesser names that are going to be joining the team for 2011. Right? West Coast and those are teams for you get a chance to see new stars come up and come. And then you do get a chance to see some of the old heads, how they were kind of looking before Alex and Peter, so you get to see the new girl of Chicago, a team that was, like in the 800, the U.S. had won the gold medal for 1968, and so she is the country's best chance. She won the gold medal, and she got that obvious time to win the gold medal. And so I'm mistaken that like I said, the 4x1 and the 4x4, that's usually now between Jamaica and USA. And so I'm really in Great Britain. So I am really looking forward to the 4x4 for the women. It is what it is, but because my brother was trying, I'm so focused now on the women's stuff to see how this thing will work. So I know when the Olympic Games come, we're going to be on the track, or my dog be on the track, and we're on the treadmill, watching the game and stuff. But it's just so much to enjoy. Obviously, Simone Biles, watching her Friday night, in St. Louis, working with the Olympic trials and stuff like that, and doing stuff. Knowing that she's going to, put the work in and do things that we haven't seen before next month. I'm just so excited about the Olympic. And the 3-on-3, the women's 3-on-3,
Absolutely.
Let's not forget, they took Ice Cube's concept and put it in.
Absolutely.
Really? I didn't know that was good.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm glad you brought up basketball because here we got to get honest here. You're an ultimate competitor, so you're gonna, there might be an answer you go with. So I got to get some honesty here. Okay, I know I got no chance against you on the track. I got no chance against you on the what sport would I have the best chance of beating you in? Because you said you're an all-around athlete.
So wait,
I'm going to work too on my side.
What would be the best sport I can have like the slightest chance of getting you?
Volleyball.
Well, I got no chance. I'm like 5'8", so I ain't got no shot.
It's so hurt.
So I got no chance there. What she basically telling me is I got no shot in hell of beating her in any competitive
golf. I suck at golf.
I'm terrible at golf too. I can't hit you in that. What is happening?
I don't know, because I can't.
Like badminton or something. What are they? Was it badminton or the game that looks like tennis racquetball? Maybe I can get you in racquetball.
Maybe.
Okay. Have to try that out.
Okay. I played tennis for a week and then track that.
When you competed as for we're asking that you, like I said, you went up against brain zones and blood breathing and stuff like that. I mean, I know you're competitive against them, but when you got a chance to make a play, did you end up having a long relationship with them at all?
I'm really close with Jackie. Gail too. There was a couple other. I was really close with Mary. That was kind of messed up, but I mean,
I had to lie when I was in high school because I knew about her in high school. Because she was like me. She was like that chick in high school.
Yeah.
Like she was. I had a big crush on her. She went to North Carolina, and then the first stuff that was so cool. It's like, I'm Mary, and I'm like, Mary was like, I idolized her. Like she was like
everybody's like,
so she was that person when she was talking words like that. It's just so
yeah, I used to have really bad anxiety attacks, and she would pick me up off the track and rock me to the bathroom like one arm. It's so embarrassing. Like she picked me up like a little kid. So you got to keep moving, like
Who was the person that you most likely went against? Who's the person that you dreaded in the game? If there was.
I would say between Veronica Campbell and Allison, because I never really got to be behind them. They always want me in the front.
Yeah.
Every race that was just a normal race, I'm pretty sure I would go that.
When it comes to athletes across the board, I know you have to pay attention to other sports, obviously. Do you see mentality, a similar mentality, or a way of going about things that you see with yourself, other athletes who play landscape? You see basketball player, or football player, even track, something that matches your mentality. You see similarities in how they go about their approach.
Well, I feel like so far a lot of the athletes are still looking for mentors. Most of them, I just went to my coach.
Yeah.
Mentors just came naturally. The older athletes, the veterans would come to me and say, good job, if you need some help, we don't really go up to them like that. I went up to say hi to Terry, and she was like, I went, okay, break my record then. I like that, And she was like, oh, I know who you are, and that was enough for me. If she don't come to ask me about something, I'm not gonna let them let her post it. But there are athletes that come up and ask for advice, and I'm like, ask your coach, I'm different because like my brother was like my motivation. Yeah. He threatened me, like if you don't listen, he'll beat you up or something, So I was just competitive because I'm trying to beat him. It wasn't the girls. So if I needed somebody to hold my ego and get me ready, I got hyped from my family. Yeah. I didn't go to other people because I didn't know what they were giving me.
That's great. When you look at, who are besides Chicago and we talked about, are there any other up and comers that we should be mindful of that you watched across here over the last couple of years that you think that we should possibly take notice of?
I'm working with Zaya Aiken. And we're on the 30 now. I think she has the potential to be really great. So
we need to add another man to your list. We need to add a fourth.
Zaya comes in my weight room all the time.
I know, but I'm talking about the track portion, not the weight. I'm talking about the track portion. I need you to get it around some of the thing road numbers.
If you want to work, I'm here.
Okay.
You're right there.
I'm gonna put that part.
That's on the door.
You know what I'm saying? She's awful. I got you, but two-time Olympian,
I'd never take her to see
oh, you look good. I'm good.
Me and Stevie are still side by side, so I go to him for advice all the time. If I need some help, he's gonna be right there. So.
I told him all that. A little bit of that type of pressure, I feel.
Yeah, that is what I
It's pressure, so I gotta say, man, so proud of everything that you've done. What do we up to now? Like, what's the day to do for community now?
Working with younger athletes. Still trying to find a job around here. It's a little hard. A lot of the college coaches are not retiring.
You're a young sister, man.
Yeah, because of the program.
Well, I do want to ask you about it. How do you think your coaching even made you better from coaching in high school and then to your college coaches too? Did you ever, because I'm convinced you get different coaches when you train with your rookies and stuff like that. So tell me what you said that you learned from the different level of coaching.
I took something from each coach, regardless. There's certain things that I learned that I can't let go of.
Well, you know, Coach Saban cussed everybody out.
You didn't cuss me out. I was a good kid.
Well, no. You are supposed to, but I'm saying you.
I didn't give them a reason.
I don't. Who's about to September? Yeah. Going off the table, but we did a good kid class. You would just start, you just little mother. You just a damn little mother. Cutting coach, he tell all the stuff like, he's a dirtiest mouth for you. You told such great stories.
Yeah. I stuck with a lot of coaches who were senior, so that I didn't have to change looks. But like, I learned something from, because I was at LSU, I was with Bobby Kersey out in Cali. And then I went to A&M. So, I mean...
And then eventually, because you were successful at the places, it was kind of hard to say, like, what they were teaching you wasn't working because it was making you successful.
It worked. It's just you outgrow some people. Some people don't want to work with you anymore. You just move around, you know? Like, yeah.
Interesting to say, well, so are you still in contact with any of your coaches?
I talk to them all the time. All the time. I mean, if I really wanted a job, I could call you and coach. But I'm trying to say here, I want to help the city. I mean, the city got to learn that.
I'm not to put myself out of Mark DeBrad, but hey, what's up, bro? Yeah. We got a little bit, not seeing riding, with great hair.
I need KCK Community College to get their program back.
I was really I'm gonna have to knock it.
They got a nice technique.
It's beautiful. They remodeled that 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, it's gorgeous stuff.
I can see you doing stuff with the cartel too. I'm just saying, I mean, she's available. I mean, it's probably out there, man. Just, what would you say has been your greatest your greatest accomplishment on the track field and your greatest Olympic moment?
I guess when we went to trials,
I'd say it's a big deal.
You see my face? It was, I want to go, like, that's always the biggest thing, so it was okay. What is that?
Olympic moment for you. Olympic moment? Whether it's taking a picture of Kobe's line that got stolen or something, or out something, for years, because you got a chance to see us where a lot of people don't get a chance to do. So, like, what was your biggest takeaway moment for you for knowing that you were competing not in just one but two Olympics? So, what was your greatest takeaway?
I think I mean, it wasn't my greatest, but it was probably one of my worst, but it's the most memorable. Was like knowing that I could have medaled, and it was just a flint. Most flints did fall back now. Flints did not. So, I mean, I learned something from that big time.
Were you not on the relay?
It hurt both times. So, I mean, my Olympic experience is running.
What could you run right now?
I was going to say, mine, yeah, that's the light. That's the light, yeah. That's like, you beat me prone, so don't worry, you're good on this.
I feel like a
No, look, I appreciate you coming in. Definitely have you back next month or when track practice. Definitely want to get you back in the studio so we can talk more about the condition. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate you taking the story, what you mentioned, what you think, stuff like that. Let people know how they can reach you with social media if you're active.
On Instagram, I'm D1Lee. I have a Facebook too. I try not to post on it as much as my mom does.
The filtration system.
Yeah. I have another page on Instagram, which is top tier. at the gym down in Hibernia. So
yeah, and so how can people, if they want to try to get in touch with your trainer or something with you down there?
social media, I usually respond to everybody unless they're creeps. I get a lot of those. But I mean, I respond.
Hey, you respond to people.
Under the pictures everywhere, I respond.
Free agent out here, man.
Two-time Olympian, literally the greatest athlete to come out of Central High School. Most certainly not the greatest athlete, one of the best athletes that ever come out of OSU. Sorry, undergraduate, but
that's my guy.
shout out, Tim, Ryan Clark, Marcus Spears, shout out. But thank you so very much, Tim. It's fun to put together about not my believe before we die. Well, thank you so much for tuning back in. Blake, as usual, thank you as always. And we'll be back next Sunday. It's Sunday. You're listening to The Ship with Darren Smith, right here on Sports Radio 18. Go thing, no!